Okay, so the first job in the instruction manual is to paint the firewall, the bulkhead, on the front of the plane. So I've used an acrylic paint, and I'm just painting. It says grey. I'm painting mine white. Okay, so there we go. That's 2 coats of paint, mainly to protect any fuel or oil, so it doesn't soak into the balsa wood. Okay, I skipped a step. Let's just go back. After painting the firewall, the next task actually in the instruction manual was to run the iron over any points on the wing. Generally, it looks very good actually. There doesn't seem to be any problems. The only problem that I'm noticing is that the edging here has come away here as well, here as well. Okay, I had the same problem on the fuselage, but I used the iron. But look, see, still got another piece here. I need to go over it again with the iron. Doesn't seem to be. I don't want to run the iron too hot, otherwise, you know, if you scorch the covering, then it's a big problem to replace it. So I'm kind of going slowly. Also, what I've noticed is the hot iron removes the colour. So look, I pushed the iron quite hard here, and look, it's removed the colouring. So need to be a little bit careful. Okay, so we're just going to run the iron. We're going to run the iron over these points. Just to seal them down again. Okay. Okay, that seems to have done the job. Okay, I'm just going to go over the wing with the iron. It says put it on its highest heat. I have it on its highest heat, but just careful not to stay still over any one point for any length of time, otherwise it can cause a problem. Okay, back. So cut out the shaded area of the monocoat, sealed it with the heat gun, identified the correct part, and which is this one here, wrong way around, so that way like that. Okay, and then this mounts so that so it mounts at the top. Actually, you can't do it any other way, because the wood, as long as you've not cut the wood stops you from putting it anyway down. So okay, so I'm going to mount that now with the going to drill 2 pilot holes and put some CA glue and then seal those, and then the next stage after, of course, will be to arrow die in the hinges. This is the aileron I'm doing at the moment. Okay, so we're going to drill 2 pilot holes with a 1.5mm bit. Okay, having identified the right screws, which was the 3mm by 15mm, 4 of them, so 2 flaps, and okay, so I put CA glue into the holes, and I just tighten those up. Yeah, look, when you remove the monocoat here, there's still this piece of wood connected. You have to remove that. It doesn't say anything in the instructions about that. So okay, what I'm going to do is sand this now, and I'm actually going to put some white enamel paint in here. Just more than anything, it helps seal between the wood and the monocoat. Okay. So having removed and painted inside just to help seal the monocoat, Okay, so now it will be time to fit the servo and then the extension arms. Also, I need to glue in with araldite the flap will now operate in here. Okay, so that's the next stage, is to glue the flap in. Sorry, the aileron. This is the aileron. The flap is next. Okay, so it's to glue the aileron in. Okay, now I'm going to mount the servo. I've come across a problem in that my kit is missing these push rods. Luckily I have some push rods from an old plane that I'm going to make, but my plane is missing in the kit the push rods. I've searched all the bags, they're not there. So let's see if I can make do. Okay, I put some CA in the holes for the servo. I've also reinforced the wooden joints there. Okay, I'm using the Savox SC0252 digital servo, which probably an overkill for this plane, but it's okay. Okay, so we've got the bolt on the inside, okay, the nut on the outside. It moves nice and easily. Okay, so this is going to go through the plane. It's going to go up into the servo arm, and I'm going to fix this now onto the servo. I'm just about to araldite in the ailerons, and they were already pre-glued into the fuselage. So all I have to do is to actually, yeah, these are already fixed in the fuselage. So I'm going to put some araldite on each one of these points, and then connect the aileron. I put masking tape. As soon as I've secured it, I'm going to remove the masking tape, and that will remove any excess araldite. So the araldite doesn't interfere with the actual hinge itself. You know, it's important that the hinge doesn't end up getting stuck as well. Okay, let's go. Next stage in the build is to cut away the material for these two plastic tops to go in here. I remove this plastic first, then I cut away, then I super glued. Also also cut away the material. It's not monocoat, this is an adhesive material. So when I cut on an inward motion when you're cutting it, so that you get a nice clean edge. Okay, so you don't get it starting to fray away from here. Be very careful when you use the iron on this. It seems okay for doing the edges, but don't use the iron over the stretched part of the film, because it will shrinkle it up and damage your film. Okay, so the instructions say use a very hot iron to remove wrinkles. My advice, do not put the hot iron over any of the stretched parts, because the film is like a plastic adhesive film and it will melt. Right, moving on. So wing struts are in, and they now suggest fixing the wing. I'm going to move on to the undercarriage and mount the undercarriage, because I'm not ready to put the wings on. As you can see, it's a little bit of a, so I need to clear this workspace completely so that I have enough room, because the wings are so wide, to be able to run across this area here. Okay, so I'm going to mount the undercarriage first, and then I'm going to clean my work area, and then I will mount the wings. I still have several bags of hardware, and they were kind enough to put each section in a separate bag. So the hardware for the tail wheel, I think these are for the push rods for the elevator and the rudder. These look like engine mountings for the push rods for the engine. Right, huge bag of small nuts and bolts. Not a huge bag. A bag with a lot of small items in it. Okay, and I've identified this is the bag. So this appears to be the correct nuts and bolts that I should be using for fixing the undercarriage onto the plane. Okay. So slightly behind the undercarriage, if you push, you'll find the two holes that you need to mount the securing bracket for what will be the arms that will support underside of the main wings. Having lost a wheel off a previous plane, I'm using Loctite on the thread, the wheel next, and then Loctite on the final one as well, just to make sure that I don't lose a wheel in flight. Drill a 1/8 hole, 3 holes, and then just put the wheel caps on.